Iris, your overall take on these numbers, better than expected.
Very good indeed. In terms of manufacturing, actually, I don't expect it to be over 49. It is very, very good, even though it is still on a monthly contraction because it is still under 50. It shows that Shanghai's closed loop operation was quite successful because I heard that some of the factories were already operating at 90% capacity in Shanghai before the ease of lockdowns. So this is encouraging. But the thing is that I hope that all these means that the job market will be more stable or increase in employment, which is very difficult for now.
Can we say April was the bottom then when it comes to economic growth? What kind of recovery are you expecting now?
I won't say April is the bottom because May is still in contraction. I'll say May is the bottom. Then we expect June, July to be over 50 for manufacturing and non-manufacturing PMIs because lockdowns in Shanghai will be eased completely and Beijing will be eased gradually. Hopefully that there won't be any lockdowns anymore, but this is a bit of uncertain. Even China has adopted a different approach here. They test more frequently, more regularly for major cities almost every weekend to stop the infection chain. But it is still too uncertain to say that there won't be any lockdowns after Shanghai and Beijing. And whenever there is lockdowns in major cities or even bigger cities, then economic damages will be there and employment will be down, which is my main worry.
What are you seeing in terms of the job market right now? We always know that the headline number doesn't really exactly show the true picture of what's going on the ground. But how do you think that lockdowns have really impacted employment?
If you think of it on a retail sales basis, which is negative 11% year on year for April, and I expect negative 5% year on year for May, it means that there are lots of SMEs out of the market and they employ a high proportion, like 30% to 40% of employment. Of course, this is only Shanghai and Beijing, but we have to think that others, for example, smaller factories may also be affected, and therefore, I believe that the unemployment rate should be higher than reported, and getting this to the pre-COVID level or pre-lockdown level, for example, say before March of this year, will be very difficult.
Yeah, we're taking a look at the sub gauges right now as well. I think we're still continue to see a contraction on that front as well. Iris, I have to wonder what this means for your forecast now for year end. Just given the policy response we've seen over the weekend, whether it's a 50-step program in Shanghai, the fiscal measures, is that enough to change your forecast in any way for the year end?
In fact, not. I am going to revise downward my forecast again. I think I have revised downward for 2 times already. The coming will be the 3rd time, and it will be quite a substantial downward forecast because I think that the prolonged lockdowns and the uncertainty of future lockdowns will actually continue to damage the economy. Of course, we have, on the other hand, stimulus from fiscal money, from local governments, infrastructure. They will fill some of the gap, but it is difficult to get to the target set in March by the government. I can only say that we can hope that lockdowns will be shorter in the future, but we can't rule out lockdowns completely.
So ING is 4.6% now, right, for your forecast. How much more downside are you thinking? Is it more of a 3 handle, a 2 handle?
between 3 to 4.
Okay. Okay. In terms of just the growth target, then, what does that mean? I mean, do you see in any way that Beijing, given that we have a party Congress later on this year, would they actually abandon it? Or do you think that they're just going to have to downplay this whole growth target for the year?
I think for a political point of view, they have to have a target for this year, for next year, because they already said that they will achieve the target set for this year. So I think if they abandon a target in the coming Congress, then it means that there will be high uncertainty to achieve what they have set for this year. So I think they should have a target for next year. Politically, they can't escape from this.
So should I then expect a lot more stimulus then, if they're not going to?
Yeah. Actually, I don't think that the stimulus will stop from here. We see a lot of stimulus from last week. Not only Shanghai, but also national-wise, a lot of stimulus. All the stimulus already added over 4% of GDP, and we will have more. Otherwise, we can't actually go near to the target of 5% or more than 5%. So this is something that we should expect. But where should the stimulus place to is a very important question, because we don't want inefficient stimulus. So stimulus on green, on EVs, on digital infrastructures are actually worth to spend, because they will increase future growth.